What more can you say about that other than what a bloody performance? No one gave us a hope going into this game. Pundits weren't just asking, will United win? They were sort of asking, can United even win this game? Literally didn't give us a single chance. Went up against our City team, went toe-to-toe with them in that first half. It was exactly what you need to do up against City. Condense the centre of the pitch, keep it compact, attack them on the counter-attack. And when you get the ball, make the most of it. We did that in that first half. Excellent by Ten Hag, you've got to say it. There wasn't a player on that pitch that put a foot wrong in this game either. Every single performance was sort of 7 out of 10 at least. That's exactly what you need in a game like this. People question the players' energy. We've done it all season. On about downing tools, all that sort of stuff. Even after the game, pundits were asking, why haven't United played like this all season? The energy levels have been there. It's the tactical setup that's let us down. But as I've said, in this one, Ten Hag was excellent. Exactly what you needed to do. Of course, in the second half, United did start to go back a little bit. We stopped being so confident with the ball and just sort of kicking it long. But that's going to happen. When you're 2-0 up, you're trying to protect that lead. And we did it. We got the job done. It was proper nervous times. Absolutely sweating at the end of it. But we got it done. Going to go through my 5 talking points, guys. From the FA Cup win. Another bit of silverware for United. And all in all, this season, obviously, we've been through some awful times. It's been terrible for large parts. But who would have thought of it? We'd come out of it with a bit more silverware again now. In the Europa League, obviously, next season as well. Turns out now, United's worst season is still better than Klopp's farewell one. And I'll take that.
Oh, I don't think that. Oh, come on. You are obviously not in a great shape, and I have no nerves for you.
So first off, guys, first talking point is going to be Ten Hag. As I've said, I think he got it spot on. The predicted lineup that I had going into this game was spot on as well, and you can see why. Playing Fernandes in that false 9 with McTominay, condense the centre of the pitch. Even United's wingers were really condensed in. Going to probably do a tactics video coming out in the next couple of days surrounding exactly what Ten Hag did, but you could see it so simply. You just condense the centre, get Man City to play out wide. The first half, City didn't have anyone out there that could do anything one-on-one. So you're pretty comfortable. We had Dalot one-on-one up against Bernardo Silva. On the other side, it was largely Gvardiol up against Wan-Bissaka. So United's fullbacks are looking at it, well, none of those players are going to really beat you for pace. They're not going to go at you and do any tricks. So you're comfortable. But then obviously in the second half then, Pep adjusted, brought on Doku. That was when United started to have a bit more trouble. Because if you did double up on Doku then, you're left obviously with spare men with City in around your box. So it's sort of you're in that catch-22. But overall, United handled it excellently. Wan-Bissaka handled that duel with Doku really more often than not. So, as I've said, you couldn't say there was much wrong with that performance at all. Overall, obviously having Varane and Martinez back was massive. The injuries that Ten Hag loves to talk about, he's got a point. Because you could see in this one how important it was to have those players back fit. I don't think it excuses the complete Premier League campaign we've just had, but obviously you do make adjustments for it. Top performance by the players, and as I've said, it was a top performance by Ten Hag as well. No matter what happens from now, obviously until the end of the week, sort of whether we get any news about Ten Hag's position, no matter what happens, 2 trophies in 2 seasons is not a bad outcome for him. And then secondly, the future is so bright for this team. Having Garnacho in there playing regularly now, you got Mino in there, another masterclass from him. You got Hojlund, you got Ahmad. There's so many players now, and still more. They still haven't even made their debuts for United now. We're going to see more of them, obviously, in the pre-season tour coming up, and I can't wait for it. It's such a good time at the minute. Like, Garnacho showed yet again that fight, that desire that he's got to be, obviously, no matter where he's playing, right wing, left wing, to be a real focal point for United and to really stretch the opposition team. Mino, obviously, was asked to do a lot of defensive work in this one, did it excellently. Got his goal, obviously, in the first half. He took that excellently, and he was in the right position at the right time. I thought Hojlund, when he came on, was really good. Battled for everything. Didn't see Ahmad in this one, but we're going to see more of him as well. There's so much more, guys. The future is so bright for this team. And then thirdly, a player who made one mistake, did let the goal in, but overall, Onana was so solid in this one. And you can see, obviously, the confidence that he brings to this team over to what De Gea had. Last season, obviously, De Gea had an absolute disaster class in that final. I think he should have saved at least one of those goals there. Onana obviously did chip one in, but overall, there's a couple of saves he made for Kyle Walker's stuff, and I think the calmness that he had, just going out there, just plucking the crosses out to the sky. We haven't had a goalkeeper doing that for a while. De Gea, it just wasn't in his game style. But Onana now, he does give you that. He just gives you that extra bit of confidence. Struggled so much, obviously, early doors. Had a terrible Champions League run. But since then, Onana's really picked things up and he's starting to look like a United goalkeeper of the future. His passing was solid again in this one. We're still not even using him properly. That's the thing. There's still so much more to come from him. But a very, very good game from him. And then penultimately, I've got to talk about that Wan-Bissaka duel with Doku. Because I think it's what really won us the game in that second half. Obviously, the one time Doku did manage to get away, that was because he isolated up against Garnacho, really. But then whenever he was up against Wan-Bissaka did deal with him for the large part of it. And he was left one-on-one for big parts as well. Because as I've said, it was what Man City did. They brought on Doku to really combat what United were doing. Because United were allowing City down the wide areas. So Man City put obviously Doku on the left to try and get him obviously isolated one-on-one. Can he get shots, crosses off? And he did get some crosses off. He did get some shots off. But largely, Wan-Bissaka limited what he could do. And it was a hard job for Wan-Bissaka being one-on-one with a very skillful winger. This is what he excels in. If United are to keep him, you need him for these certain game states. I've said he's got some limitations to his game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But in games like this, where he's one-on-one with a tricky winger, there's not much better. And then lastly, I'm going to talk a little bit about Hojlund. Because I thought when he came on, he really did help United get over the line. The ability for United, obviously, to kick the ball long to him. You're trying it to McTominay a few times and he was tired in towards the end. You could see it. But when Hojlund came on then, he just provided that bit of energy in there. He was fighting for everything. And he's done that all season long. Yes, he may not have scored the amount of goals you want him to. But for his first season at United, still scored quite a few. And the overall energy and the battling, the presence that he brings to that striker position for United, we haven't had it for quite some time now. Still got a long way to improve, but still a very young player. I thought he really helped United when he came on, and he's still got such a bright future. I mentioned him with the Garnacho and the likes of those. It's not just those ones though. There's so many coming through at United now. So many in this squad. There's such a bright future, and Hojlund's part of it. So there we are, guys. As I've said, I'm going to do a tactics video detailing exactly what United did, but overall, just excellent. And as I've said, if this was the last game for Ten Hag to be in charge, then there's not many better games to go out on. It's a hard decision for Ineos, but that frosty handshake at the end just made me think that the decision's been made, but we're going to have to just wait and see. It's hard to say, like after this game, and after what Ten Hag done in this one, it's hard to say yes, go and sack him. But after you've got to judge it on the Premier League season, you can't judge it off this one. We've said that before the game, but whatever happens, I'm riding with whatever Ineos decide to do. We've just got to. We've got no choice. But if they decide to keep Ten Hag, then there's obviously plus points. He's not lost his dressing room at all. He's got that massively in his favour. So we're going to have to just wait and see what the outcome of that is. But let's just enjoy that win. Massive for United. Manchester is red. Stay tuned to Welsh Red TV, guys, for everything United. I'll see you in the next one.